This is an old medium laptop and I got this laptop for free. But is this machine still good and working? So first of all, I got this laptop without a charger. But this isn't a problem, because I already have an Asus charger that is compatible with these models. I mean the connector and the voltages are the same. So I connect the charger and I start the laptop, but nothing on the screen. Just the LEDs are blinking. Immediately I knew that something is missing here. So I took the boot covers from the bottom side. And this laptop is without disk, which is very usual because of security reasons, and without RAM. Also, this laptop is super clean, and this is very rare and unusual to see. This is at least a 15-year-old laptop, and it's still in amazing good shape. The cooling almost has no dust, and the other components are very clean as well. From the outside, over the case is some dust and dirt, but overall, from the outside, this laptop is looking almost like a new one. Now, let's add some of the missing components and see if this machine is still working. I have some disks that are still in a good condition. I choose one of these, and this one has 100 GB capacity. 100 gigs isn't much, but for an ID disk, this is pretty good. Also, the ID stands for Integrated Drive Electronics, which today is a very old technology. And this is something before SATA or any other newer devices. Also, ID disks are much slower than any SATA or other storage devices. And this laptop has no support for something newer, so this is the only option. After I place the disk, it's time to find some RAM. This machine is using DDR2 RAM. I'm not exactly sure what is the maximum RAM support here, but I think it's 2 or 4 gigs. Here, I will go with 1 GB in total. Also, I place RAM in the both slots, because I want to see are the both RAM slots on the laptop good or not, because sometimes may happen one of the slots to not work. After I mount everything, I connect the charger, and I start the laptop. Now I enter the BIOS menu and I start with the basic checks. But to continue with testing, I need an operating system, one of my favorite CDs, the Windows XP. I place the CD in the CD-ROM and I start with installing the Windows. The CD-ROM turns out to work fine, but installing Windows to some older machines is going very slow, which is very usual and expected. Meanwhile, I jump in search of drivers. Some drivers for this machine were easy to find, but some other were a little bit tough to find, because many web pages with drivers are gone a long time ago, and I need to dig the web a little bit more. But anyway, I found all that I need. Installing the drivers and softwares, it's looked like a writing time machine. The classic installing process with a classic interface can easily take you back in the mid-2000s. The only problem that I noticed with this laptop is overheating. The cooling fan is very loud and the laptop gets too hot in a very short time. But anything else is working just fine, and I didn't expect everything to pass just smooth like that. Before I move to anything else, let's clean this machine a little bit. I mean, change the thermal paste and shine up the things a little bit more. And first I start with removing the heatsink and the cooling. When I took out the heatsink, I saw that this is a factory thermal paste, which means thermal paste is never changed before. Also, I didn't find any trace that assume that somebody before has cleaned this machine. And I believe that this machine is probably from some company, dismissed a long ago and forgotten. To clean the thermal paste, I'm using standard things as always, like isopropyl alcohol, cotton buds, brushes, and plastic spudger stick. Sharp or metal things are not recommended to clean any CPU or GPU. When I finished with the CPU, I took another soft clean brush and vacuum cleaner, and carefully I removed the very minor dust from all around. To the heatsink, we have a dry thermal paste that almost is like concrete, and very little dust to the cooling fan, but with some little work, all is going to be shiny again. After I cleaned the CPU and the cooling, I put a fresh thermal paste on the CPU, and I returned the heatsink with a cooling fan. Before I mount the bottom plastic cover, I put back the RAM. 1 GB of RAM isn't much, but for this machine it's going to be perfect. And as well, the experience of using this laptop is going to hit much different. Now again, I took a vacuum cleaner, brushes and isopropyl alcohol, and I start with cleaning the keyboard. At this point, I had to be very careful, because to not damage some of the keys, or use too much isopropyl alcohol. The keyboards are pretty sensitive, so very careful work is highly recommended here. When I finished with the keyboard, I took soft napkins, clean brushes, and to the napkins I placed 96% isopropyl alcohol, and I used a very little glass cleaner. And with these napkins I started cleaning the whole case around. The laptop case looks clean, but the plastic has collected some dirt through the ears, which is noticeable to some places. I mean, some plastics have changed the color a little bit because of dirt. And at this point I must say something very important. Never use water wipes to clean your laptop or any other electronics. Water wipes are not to clean your electronics. When I work in a repair store, I have seen many laptops with keyboard problems or screen problems, and that's because of water wipes. One cheap water wipe can very easily destroy your expensive MacBook or your expensive gaming laptop. Now imagine how expensive it is to change the display to some gaming laptop or some MacBook, or change the keyboard. But sometimes water from the water wipes can cause short circuits and much greater damage. And cleaning your electronics properly is important because first you will save money from repairs and your device will last longer. So it's better to spend a little bit more time to clean your device and save your money for other things. And finally, this laptop is shiny again and it's looking fresh and better. Now let's see the final results and a little journey through time. So every scene that you have seen in this video is looking very familiar to most of you. I mean, starting with a very familiar startup sound, or the shutdown sound. And everything other is very familiar, like a classic and a simple interface, controls and commands, the well-known Winamp player, and up to well-known games. This laptop is pretty old, but still is not to finish in some landfill. I mean, this machine can be still used to play around with some older softwares, listen to music, watch some low-resolution videos, and play many older games. Personally, I really enjoy it when I play some old games to some old hardware, because the experience and the feelings are much different. The GTA San Andreas is a little laggy, but this took me back in time when the FPS wasn't really important. Even back then, many people don't know what is the FPS. And back then, the important thing was, is some game running or not? I mean, if you can run some game on the computer, all is fine. But if the game cannot run, then you have a bad PC or laptop. Well, and this is all about this old Medion laptop. And I'm very glad because this laptop is working again. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And I hope this video will give some inspiration and ideas to back some stuff in function again, or make some stuff better. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.